Morning. How you guys doing today? So out doing a little morning walk, and I thought I would tackle the Amazon announcement. Right? If you haven't heard, I guess it was about probably maybe 3 months ago. Amazon announced that they were going to Queens, Long Island City, I believe, and is one of the two places for HQ2. You know, they talked about bringing 25,000 jobs, billions of dollars in investments. But along with that came a bunch of tax incentives and things of that nature. And, lo and behold, some of the local politicians didn't like that. So I'm going to do my best to stay out of the politics angle of this and just talk about it from a real estate perspective. Because I don't live there, my vote doesn't count, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to talk about it from real estate. So the first thing to think about is, that huge announcement about Amazon going to Long Island City. Probably caused a lot of, rushed decisions, speculation, really on two fronts. First, I suspect there were lots of sellers that had properties on the market that decided to take it off, right? Because you're a seller, rent it out, and Amazon's coming in 2, 3, 4 years. The property's going to be worth more. The logic says. Then if you sort of step back and you look at that decision now, right? They had the property listed long before Amazon came along. They were ready to sell. Listings were getting stagnant. But then, they decided to take it off the market. I suspect many of them got offers. And they decided, because of greed, to, just sit tight, maybe put another tenant in, or heck, leave it vacant. I don't know. But, I find decisions like that interesting, right? You put it on the market, knew nothing was coming, didn't know Long Island City was going to be selected. And then you get a bit of good news that isn't certain, obviously in hindsight, but it wasn't even certain then, right? They hadn't cracked ground. They haven't hired one person. They haven't spent $1, or at least significant dollars. I guess they probably spent $1. But, that's interesting. The other thing that I think happened is there was probably a lot of buyers that rushed in and said, I'm going to buy, right? I'm going to buy now. So on one hand, you had a bunch of listings probably disappear. And then suddenly you had, 4, 5, 10, 20x the number of buyers. I bet there were buyers coming in from China and, Australia and Canada, and just all these people going, I'm going to bet on the Amazon thing. And if they're going there, I'm going there, and all of that stuff. So, I don't remember how long it's been, but, my guess is there are some people that went into contract right away, probably closed already, and now got this news. And now they're looking at going, oh my God, I overpaid. There was probably a bidding war. I raised my bid 50 grand because I counted on Amazon, all that stuff. So, the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because you shouldn't let outside forces that you have no control over dictate your decisions. None of the people that pulled property off the market, none of the buyers that rushed in, really had anything of substantial knowledge, and really couldn't bank on Amazon doing anything. Yes, there was a press release. Yes, there was probably a big conference and people, high-fiving each other. But none of it was done, right? So in the end, real estate is hyper-local. This is just another example of something being done in a city that kind of feels good, but it wasn't done. It was a press release. It was ink on a piece of paper, or digital zeros and ones. So, just remember that speculation comes in lots of forms with real estate, and what can look like a sure thing could really not be, right? So in the end, now that they've announced they're not coming, and it looks like, they're not coming, right? This isn't a head fake. They're not going. There were a lot of people that had stuff on the market that took it off, that are kicking themselves because they could have sold. There's a lot of people that rushed in to buy that may have overbought. And now, people are just going, they're kind of stuck, all because they kind of rushed in. And again, this business is all about fear and greed. And this is an example where greed probably got a couple of people. So in the end, I just thought I would share this. Just use this as a reminder. Run your numbers. Be as balanced, level-headed all the time. Don't make decisions, based off a press release, because as we saw in this example, they sometimes reverse their decisions. All right, have a great day. Thanks.